What's up, folks? We are back with our holiday special games. Between, it's gonna be the blue Protoss once again, Timbo Slice, going up against the red Terran, Kevin Lee. Now, these guys did play 3 games earlier, so I think we're just gonna continue with the scoreline. It is 2-1 in favor of the Terran player. If you missed those games, please check them out on my channel. Holiday special for abortion rights. This is part 2. We are just continuing the series, I suppose. These guys both gonna be opening pretty standard. The only difference is Kevin on the low ground. Timbo gonna be building his structures in the main base. Not at the ramp, by the way, which is a little bit different. And I think the previous 3 games he had put it at the bottom ramp, implying a quick expand. So let's see if he's going to change up the strategy, maybe go for something a little more aggressive this time around. It was done, Cybercore going to be building up. Not too much variation possible there. Reaper on the way. And it looks like Timbo is going to be throwing down that second Nexus pretty quickly. So not really too sure about this building placement. It doesn't really do a whole lot in his current position. Would have preferred to see him there or here. Not even in place to block or jump up location for the Reaper. Sometimes you'll see people put like a pylon gateway pylon. I don't know how many it takes to block this area, but that doesn't matter because it's not happening. The Reaper's going to jump in. Stalker is already out, so Reaper shouldn't be doing a whole lot. Gonna jump right back on out. Could potentially go up into the natural just to take a look, but just gonna heal up for now. And he is gonna jump in, gonna confirm that natural base is up. Now gonna jump back into the main base. Stalker out of position. Reaper, it gets some damage. Is going to get 1 probe, a lot of lost mining time, but Reaper looks like it's going to go down, yes. So I think that favors the Protoss player just a little bit. Terran player is getting his expansion up and running as well. Factory on the way with a tech lab. So that implies probably siege tanks. We also have a starport and 2 more barracks coming on down in the main base. Widow mine on the way. You do not need a tech lab to produce a widow mine, so that's a strange choice. Second orbital being morphed, and Kevin likes his Marauders, gonna keep making Marauders. That's been his MO in all these games. First Widow Mine is out. reactor coming down on the starport. Most likely going to be for Medivacs. Let's see if he decides to go for some kind of Widow Mine drop once again. Only one Widow Mine, second in production now. Again, this tech lab. I don't know why. Back on the Protoss side of things. More of the same, just the Robo facility. Getting that first initial observer out. Twilight Council researching the Zealot charge for those zippy boys. And additionally, gateways on the way, not really spending those warpings. We've only got 2 stalkers on the field currently. But we do have a photon cannon being warped in, shield battery in position as well. This pylon very vulnerable if Kevin decides to attack. So I would like to see a backup, maybe someone over here, to make that shield battery powered. Of course, the shield battery is a very powerful defensive option. Observer gonna float on in and just spot everything, spots the Widow Mines. So might have an idea that a Widow Mine drop may be coming in the future. See if Timbo decides to prepare for that. Maybe throw cannon in the mineral lines. He's going to get one, kind of in an odd position. Really cover this edge of the base, but it will provide vision. We have one Immortal so far. This robotics facility not really being utilized currently. Third base in production. And over on the Terran side of things, a bunch of Marauders, a few Marines, only 2 Widow Mines. Still not really utilizing this tech lab other than for that Drilling Claws upgrade. Scan going down to kill the Observer. Nice awareness from Kevin to spot that blur in the air. It is usually worth it to spend a scan to kill the Observer. It denies your opponent the vision, it forces them to rebuild it, which takes up their production time for Colossus or Disruptors. So usually worthwhile. Third base before the Protoss is up, going to be saturating that shortly. The army count very low for Timbo's slice. Only, what is that, 6 Stalkers, 1 Immortal, 1 Colossus. Back over on the Terran, he is continuing to pump out his bio units and Medivacs. Are these the first 2 Medivacs? He has had that starport for quite a while, but only just now are Medivacs taking the field. Gonna load up his 2 Widow Mines for a 2 Widow Mine drop. Kinda odd that he didn't get more Widow Mines. This factory not being used currently. So here comes the Medivac. Shouldn't be able to get a whole lot done. So quite secure. Oh, and snipes that Medivac out of the sky with Link on the Stalkers. Nicely done by Timbo. Luckily for Kevin, it was only 2 Widow Mines in there. And once again, this army has not changed since we last spoke. Now warping in 5 more Stalkers. Stalkers, not that good against what Kevin has. Really need to get some more Zealots and more splash damage in the form of either Colossus or Disruptors, or attack up to High Templars. High Templars with their storms very powerful against Bio. What Kevin's doing, just a lot of Bio, Medivacs for support, and we're getting one Raven, which is a decent option. You can use that to drop the anti-armor missile, which reduces the armor of all these units by 3. Or use it to interference matrix those high value targets such as the Colossus or Immortals. I thought there was an Immortal in here somewhere. There it is. And of course, it can also spot invisible units such as DTs, observers. There are either of those. Oh, there was one. Exactly, the Raven spotted it. The Marines were able to get it down. Kevin just now getting his third base. Very late on that. Timbo already getting his fourth base. But supplies, very even. Army count, gonna be favoring the Terran player because Timbo not really spending his money as per usual. 1,000 minerals, 1,400 gas. That could be so much extra. I understand 71 to 103. Timbo does have the added bonus of these two Colossus. Not too much splash damage over on the Terran side of things. In fact, none. But will the sheer numbers be enough to win the battle? Let's see if these two armies gonna collide. The Zealots with their charge, rush on in, interference matrix. Don't really want to use that on Stalker. Looks like these two Colossus will worth their weight in gold. 11 kills on that bad boy, 8 kills on that one. Bile is gonna clean up all the gateway units. All that's left are these Colossus. Should pull back. Very wasteful with his units. His Timbo Slice gonna lose everything. All in all, a decent engagement, but definitely should have pulled back at the end with his high value units. He does have the added bonus of extra base over his opponent, but still needs to utilize his production. Timbo asking how. Not sure what you're really asking. Kind of just let your units die there. But still pretty even game so far. With the extra base, more workers. Find a way to spend that gas. I do think the Templar Archives has some choice getting some High Templars, combine them into Archons. And they're not really going to change up too much, just more Marauders, more Marines as well. He is mixing in a couple Cyclones. I don't really like Cyclones in this matchup. Unless it's against like early Oracles. But we'll see if they do anything at all. Timbo does have his Templar Archives actually researching Storm. It will be some time before those will really come into play. Wouldn't mind seeing some warped in just to start collecting energy. He does have a few Archons, which is nice. Would like to see some ghosts out of Kevin. We have a single Viking, which will help against Colossus. 2 Vikings now, sorry. And the third base is fully saturated. First and second are going to be running dry pretty soon. Fourth base on the way for Kevin as well. There's that Storm upgrade, almost done. How are they in terms of upgrades? 2-2 for the Protoss, only +2 for the Terran player, so ignoring that armor, which isn't too useful against Protoss because they pack such a punch, but it doesn't hurt, especially if you have this much money. Supplies dead even right now at 180, but army supply gonna be favoring the Terran just a little bit. Keep in mind, a lot of that is going to be in medevacs. And just not a lot of splash damage on the side of the Terran. Would like to see some tanks, some ghosts, maybe Widow Mines even. I do like the complexity of the Terran, the Protoss army a lot more. It's got a couple Colossus. He's got some High Templars for Storms. If those Storms land, it could be absolutely devastating for the Terran army. We do see Timbo moving out now. Looks like Kevin has similar ideas. Kind of looks like he was posturing for a move out, but maybe thought better of it. Timbo gonna be denying this potential 5th base. Good cancel there. Observer gonna spot this army before it gets taken out. And Timbo, very brave, moving in anyway. Zealots leading the charge. Storms dropping down. Those are absolutely huge, blanketing the bio, softening up these medevacs hugely. Another one going down. Just so much damage to the Terran bio. Another big stem, another big storm. Just not enough bio left over. Meanwhile, these 3 Colossus, 2 Archons, taking out that 3rd base. 23 SCVs going down. And very mature move here out of Timbo. Probably could have pushed forward, but decides to take his victory there and back off with his high value targets. And that's a very smart move, very mature move. Back up, reinforce, heal up the shields maybe, warp in some more zealots, and go back in a little later. Timbo now getting a 5th base. Kevin trying to rebuild. He is still on 3 bases. He's got this planetary fortress, but he is down on supply. 166 to 115 out of Kevin. Not sure what these medevacs are doing. They went home for a little repair, it looks like. Timbo could just close this out, but being very patient, sitting on his 3-3 upgrades, getting the shields upgrades as well, and another observer here. I think this is like his 3rd or 4th one. The unit's lost 5 observers have gone down. This is the 6th one. Spotted what it needed to see, and Timbo should pretty handily win this fight if he so chooses. Storms absolutely huge. He just doesn't have any answer for them. Again, I really would like to see Ghosts just do everything Timbo has. Caught up pretty nicely in supply. Timbo, as usual, not spending his money. 6,000 minerals in the bank. Yet. I don't really know what goes on in this guy's head. Storms, oh my goodness, the storms just blanketing the Terran army. Everything dying on both sides, actually. Colossus gonna fall to the Vikings. Storms going down on the Vikings as well. And actually, Terran gonna win that fight, but Timbo with a massive bank gonna be able to warp in a huge round of Stalkers. Still has 5,600 minerals in the bank. Only at 108 supply, could use some more production perhaps. Maybe start making some stuff out of these robos. Timbo? Hello? Big Zealot warp-in going down on this 4th base, but not going to be able to do too much. Actually, might get a couple Thors here, which is nice. These are expensive units, but landed Vikings actually pretty good against a lot of stuff that Protoss has. Little known fact, landed Vikings do bonus damage versus units. Those units happen to be mechanical. Looks like Timbo just abandoning the complexity altogether now, going for mass stalkers once again. And that's one way you could potentially throw the game as the Protoss here. Because Kevin now, a lot of Marauders, some Thors as well. That's pretty good against mass stalkers. But again, Timbo with such a massive bank, he can just constantly warp in stuff. But not really doing that. He's gonna wander in with all his stalkers. Take out this base and flank back out, maybe? Takes a lot of losses. Gonna go for a recall. So it does preserve 10 or so stalkers there. A decent pick off because Kevin is starting to get very dry on money. This is his main base is mined out. Natural expansion almost mined out as well. In fact, he has floated his main over to this third location, trying to retake this fourth as well. And Timbo with all the bases on his side of the map. Kevin gonna go for a big attack right now. This is actually very scary. Kevin with 114 army supplies, only 68 of Timbo. See if Timbo can get these money Nova connections off. First one is okay. Second one is huge. And get some storms. Does he have enough energy on these Templars? I should, but not going down. Another 2 Novas. Get okay connections there. There's the storm, but where's the warp? And you've got 6,600 minerals. He's going to be wasting his units right now. Where is the warp? And nothing in the production tab for Timbo. What is he doing? Now finally warping in a bunch of zealots, and that should be enough to clean this up, but Timbo making things very scary for himself. Nice hot pickup from Kevin, saving that final Thor, but I think he is running out of steam here. Just doesn't have enough economy back at home. He has barely any money left in the bank while Timbo is still sitting on a lot. Kind of curious that he is only on 99 supply right now. Still not utilizing his warpins. I don't understand this guy at all. There we go. 11 more stalkers. He has 22 gateways. He could be warping in 22 units at once. 6 more zealots coming in as well. We've got disruptors being produced 2 at a time. Three, 2 on the shields. Timbo could be getting that final shield upgrade with all his money. And another big zealot warping in the main base of Kevin. Taking out some production facilities. Units come back and deal with that. This is essentially free for Timbo with all his money, and extra costly for the Terran player who is running out of resources. Let's have this base. And, a bit of lag. Yep. It's like Timbo lagging out. Uh-oh. Might be a cheeky win for the Terran player here. Alright, so Timbo somehow lagged out of the game. He was well on his way to winning that game anyways, but we're going to try recovering from replay the wonders of modern technology as it loads up right now. I don't recall ever doing this, so pretty cool to see. As I guess it's just running through the replay right now. And Timbo should have this game firmly and securely in the bag. But just floating so much money that it kind of looks close. Would be pretty funny if we wait all this time, get back into the game, and Kevin just GG's. Was about a 23-minute game so far, so there's a lot to go through right now. All right, almost there. Oh, looks like I have to resume. All right, here we go. Loaded back in 23.5 minutes into this game. That should have been over a few minutes ago. We do have, let's see, Timbo sitting at 167 supply with 6,000 minerals in the bank. Kevin at 110. But army supply kind of close. Of course, the complexity going to be favoring Timbo, as he does have disruptors as well as a single high Templar, some Archons in here as well. The game should end at the next fight, whenever that occurs. We do have an observer here, kind of keeping an eye on things. Timbo knows that Kevin still has mining. Didn't quite see this base, but I don't really think Kevin can catch up at this point. Surely no. Two more bases, one in the north position, one in the south. Kind of feels like we're just waiting for the inevitable here. Timbo now maxed out. I'm gonna be moving around on the map. Lots of zealots here. And I think he could disruptor his entire army and still end up winning the game with this massive bang. Gonna run in, take out this base, take out 12 very important SCVs. First disruptor Nova lifts. Second one gets an okay shot. one big storm landing. While the Disruptor Nova gets a chunk of units as well. But being very respectful of this Terran army. That's gonna allow Kevin to pick off a few trailing units over there. Another big Disruptor shot. He'll be losing most of this army here. But he can, of course, rebuild back at home. In fact, not even going to be losing this entire army. GG's. Timbo takes that game. Welcome back. We are tied up 2-2 in this series between the blue Protoss, Timbo Slice, and his red Terran opponent, Kevin Lee. What do these guys have in store for us this time around? Kevin gonna be building a supply depot on the low ground as he has been doing. Timbo staying in his base once again. Kind of odd building position. Not really blocking the ramp. Not really blocking the Reapers. It worked out for him last game. She won pretty early on, but just couldn't close it out. Early game. Neither player really going for any cheeses. Of course, they're off races, so they might not even know how to cheese. Barracks almost complete. Second SCV, just going to be building a supply depot. Reaper should be starting up soon for Kevin, and no, actually going to be going for a very fast tech lab, skipping the Reaper altogether. And a quick factory right behind it. Timbo once again going for the fast expansion. Does have his cyber core up, going to be chrono boosting that stalker, which he doesn't actually need, but he doesn't know that. Also going to be chrono boosting warp gate technology from the cyber core. And we do have a strange looking wall out of Kevin. In fact, this supply depot wasn't needed. Does have tech lab on this. Barracks, not doing anything with it. He does have a factory, not doing anything with that either. And a second command center. And now we do see a change up from Timbo. He is producing a Stargate. First Stargate we've seen in this series so far. Kevin gonna be producing Hellions, actually. Kind of a weird choice. Tech Lab on the starport as well. We'll be getting Banshees. Not really sure why he's going for these attachments. He still hasn't used this barracks here. And oh, it's gonna be Fusion Core here in the back of the base. Timbo going for the Oracle out of that Stargate. First two Hellions gonna be making their way across the map. There's not too much here out of Timbo, only a singular Stalker, so these two Hellions find some damage. Not if they just waste their time on the Nexus. Bit of miscontrol here from Kevin. As he does finally set his sights on the probes, but a little bit too late there. Does end up getting 3 probes, and just gonna back away with the Hellions. So not too bad there. First Oracle has taken to the field. The Fusion Core is done. First battlecruiser in production. This Oracle should be able to spot that. But what will be the reaction from Timbo? Does have his Stargate already. It will take some time to get out a few Void Rays. Oracle going to be flying in now. Let's see how it does. Not going to be flying in just yet. There it goes. Goes right in. Gonna spot that Fusion Core. So what is he gonna do back at home? He needs to react. He needs to do something back at home, but nothing happening on the production tab. Timbo loading a lot of money once again. Did warp in one additional Stalker. A lot of SCVs going down, but the battlecruiser is operational. It's gonna warp across the map. Let's take a look at that bad boy here. Should be able to get some pretty decent damage done. A bit of Stalkers from Timbo. Might actually be good enough to push this battlecruiser back. Does have the extra benefit of being able to fly, dropping a couple mules for the repair. That is a pretty cool move there from Kevin, repairing up this battlecruiser, but in a fight with these Stalkers, too short. Slow warping there, a bit of a mistake. As those Stalkers gonna go down. 4 Stalkers left. Stargate still not being used. Void Ray would have been very helpful in this situation. A lot of lost mining time here. 10 kills out of this battlecruiser, and it's gonna get away. Looks like Kevin wants to play with fire somewhere. Dropping an auto cannon on one Stalker. And now gonna finally warp back home to get repaired up. But both players floating a lot of money now, kind of focusing a little bit too much on the micro there. Do you think it favored Timbo just a bit? So he does have 36 to the 32 workers of Kevin. Really needs to start using that money, warping some more Stalkers, making Void Rays. Void Rays are very good against battlecruisers. Oracle gonna fly in once again. Some more havoc in the Terran base. 21 SCVs going down, and it looks like I think Kevin shot his own refinery there, if I'm not mistaken. With the Yamato cannon. Oracle does finally go down, but it did get a lot of damage done in its lifetime. It's a pretty nice job there. Also forcing a lot of missile turrets from Kevin. And there is no follow-up Stargate units from Timbo, so these missile turrets not really going to be doing a whole lot. Kevin with 2 battlecruisers now. Timbo loves his Stalkers, but gonna be difficult to catch battle cruisers with ground units. That's why I would really like to see some more Void Rays being produced. No blink on these stalkers either, so they can't even blink underneath. The Yamato Cannon gonna go down, and this control from Kevin losing one of those battle cruisers. Second one gonna warp away with its life. Kevin continuing to produce battle cruisers. Wouldn't mind seeing a second starport. He is floating a lot of money, but not that much gas. Maybe a third base needs to be taken. Both did get that memo, dropping the third base. Lots of pylons, single cannon going down. Just gonna be gateway units for Timbo. Lots of stalkers, blink almost done. Getting 1-1 as well. Lots of photon cannons just to be safe from any crazy warp-ins from the battle cruisers. Kevin going to be getting additional starports, 2 additional starports. I don't think he really has the gas to support that. Third command center being produced in his main base, which he can float on over when he's ready. Kevin, surprisingly enough, taking the worker lead, 48 to only 40 probes of so better army, I would say. 2 battle cruisers, not that scary of a number. And only 5 marauders, 2 marines on the ground. Timbo, just stalkers, nothing but stalkers out of Protoss player. This is 1-1 finishes up. No upgrades out of the Terran player. This could be a huge attack, potentially game-ending. Big blink in, gonna take out 1 battle cruiser. Take out the second battle cruiser. What does Kevin really have left? Not a whole lot. GG gets called. Timbo's gonna take game number 5.